Are you feeling great right now? I don't know. I don't know you. But what I know is that somebody who comes up with a thought like this is likely not to feel great and not to feel okay with not feeling great. And somebody who clicked on a video with a title like that is also likely not to feel okay, not to feel great, and not feeling okay with not feeling great. And yet, it's one of those obvious things, obvious thoughts that, of course, we know that it's okay not to be great. It's okay to be whatever we are, whoever we are, wherever we are. It's okay. But is it? What does it even mean to be okay? That it is okay. That's one of many questions that I keep asking myself whenever I feel that something is off, something doesn't feel okay, something doesn't feel right. And asking certain questions helps me to feel okay, or at least not to feel not okay. Like to reject the idea of not feeling okay, to reject the idea that I have to feel certain way and that feeling whatever has to be okay. Like the main question, like who's deciding what's okay and what's not okay? It's my self-judgment, pretty much. Am I judging that something is wrong? Or am I not judging that something is wrong? And then, I'm relatively okay with myself, Let's keep it simple. That's what it is, really. Because even if people around me are judging me negatively, they are making fun of me or they are criticizing me, then, it's a sort of gift that I can manage, I can take the gift or I can reject the gift. I can say, "Oh, thanks for sharing, but all you're saying is your opinions," and I have to take it with me or no. And sure, sometimes it's beyond my competence to, to reject certain judgments, If somebody's opinion is very important for me, then it will hurt that somebody doesn't like me or somebody doesn't approve what I do. And sure, yeah, I understand that's human nature, that's life, But even though I am not strong enough to reject the importance of people's judgments, it doesn't change the obvious fact that it is still up to me what I do with that, And maybe I can learn, practice, and in the future, I can manage other people's judgments more mindfully and more analytically. Because what I'm trying to say is that it always end up in my own judgment, If people close to me say things that, hurt me or whatever, or like their pressure, their disapproval, if they make me feel a certain way, then it's still myself who make me feel a certain way. And it's still me who subconsciously or consciously or in whichever way, there is still up to me to decide if it's okay or not okay. Decide maybe is a not appropriate word, but it's still within this system that the final selection is made. And I would be denying the human nature if I said that whatever you think about me, whatever you tell me, doesn't influence me. Of course it does. Of course it does. Of course it does. But I have the influence on who I am surrounding with and therefore who has influence on me. If I value your judgment, if I value judgment of people around me, then, I can make decisions to help me surround myself with those people. And if I think it's not good for me to hear all the complaints, to hear this sort of judgment that is not based on kindness, empathy, and is like, we're trying to help you. We are, and I believe that you are trying to help me, even though it hurts. I believe it was based on your good intentions. That's perfect. That's great. That's very valuable. But if I feel that I keep listening disapproval, judgment, negative thoughts, that is not really based on kindness, empathy, and the intention to help. Rather, it is based on somebody's low self-worth and just trying to feel better using me, then it is still up to me to decide if I want to keep listening, if I want to keep surrounding myself with you, And sometimes it's maybe not what you want to hear, because it's easier to stay in this victim position rather than take full responsibility. But whenever I think about it, it's always the same response. It's all like, all problems are very similar to each other. Very similar to each other. Even this information that something doesn't feel, I'm not feeling okay. Something is not okay, That's just the information. It's not the final judgment. It's no more than information that, maybe we should look at something in your life, Because from my perspective, from my experience, basically, we will never solve our problems. That's obvious. It's so many obvious thoughts, so many obvious statements, but we'll never solve our problems. All of our problems. There will be just new problems, more problems, and we have a lot of influence on what problems we are dealing with, but we'll never solve all our problems. And basically, when we are feeling okay, when we are doing well with solving our problems, when we deal with the problems that are giving us some sort of purpose, that this solving this problem is the right way of managing my time and my resources. Like even now, I am solving a problem of, like making this video is me addressing a certain problem. And I feel right now, I am feeling engaged, I am feeling present. I don't feel that I'm wasting my time. Regardless of what you think about it, I will be very happy. I don't know if anybody is listening at this point, Probably I will listen to it. And I will have this conversation with myself, and I still find value in it. That's me. Hey, you don't have to do this, It's you. It's me. Let's let ourselves be ourselves. You do you, I do me. But before I was engaged in the process of making a video, and due to certain factors, such as, me being sick, I caught some virus, I have some back pain, some things that are making me maybe sadder a little bit, more sad. Is sadder the correct adjective? The correct version of this adjective? I was sad in a way. I was like, I feel weaker. And somehow I feel like me being weak is some sort of my fault. I felt guilty. And I observed that feeling of guilt. And I thought that was so absurd. Yet I did feel that. And that was not okay. I wasn't doing great things because I was weak. I was feeling guilty. And then because I'm feeling guilty, because I'm weak, I feel even more sad. I feel weaker. I feel more guilty. And this vicious cycle can turn so many turns, can make so many turns. My English is shit. It's not that shit. It's like, it is what it is, but whatever. But yeah, I was feeling a little bit off, a little bit not okay. I wasn't performing great things. And I think it's important to understand my previous conditioning. I remember what it feels like to do great things, to do things that I perceive at the moment of doing them as great. Any sort of success, any sort of resolving big problems in life. I was like, whoa, yeah, that was great. That was really something. And in a way, the second part of my life, as I predict, is basically humbly accepting that this sort of great things I conditioned myself to are no more. They're gone. And it's all about accepting impermanence, accepting and letting go. And the process of letting go is beautiful, is joyful, brings a lot of peace of mind to me. And it's different kind of feeling. It's not euphoric. It's not feeling great. And at least not the same great as I remember. Accomplishing things, being extremely efficient. Now when I'm feeling efficient, I'm also feeling kind of stupid. Like why are you doing this? Just take rest, No, I still have to do some stupid things to feel that I am efficient because my conditioned mind has these desires to, do more. And I subconsciously think that, yeah, probably doing less is a smarter move. Yet somehow I convince myself to do stupid, efficient things, And yeah, it's a dance. It's a play between the two, A little bit of stupid, a little bit of wise, a little bit of efficient, a little bit of relaxing. And it's all about, for me, on my at the stage of my life where I am, how I perceive myself, it's all about acceptance, about letting go and moving in a smarter way, And very often, actually, the goal, the target I want to accomplish doesn't feel great. Not at all. Doesn't feel great. In the past, my courage was directing me to great goals. But right now, in a way, my courage is to reject the ideas. Is to reject doing more efficient, doing, I don't know, like accumulating certain points, including money, and maybe using my resources differently. And very often, it leads me to not feeling great. And I didn't even intend to come here. I had certain ideas, certain intuitions. Definitely, I was not planning to end up here, But I did. I did end up here. And my main mission, even as I said in the first video on this channel, was and is to look at what is true at the moment and say that openly, authentically. As of now, while I'm, making this stream of consciousness and feel certain way, and I feel a certain way now, and it's a very different feeling than I was feeling at the beginning, and a very different feeling like 20 minutes before recording the video, Basically, asking myself right questions, such as who is deciding what's okay, what's not too okay, and understanding that it really ends up here. The final selection, like I mentioned, is somewhere here. Am I feeling was that okay or not? And that it's okay not to feel that it's okay not to feel a certain way, And it's up to me whether I use it as as information, and then move into action. Like, what can I do with this information? I can stop doing what I'm doing or stop being certain way if it means I'm not feeling okay. Or I can also keep this self-talk going and like self-punishing. Like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling great. I should be feeling great. I am not okay. And then maybe keep beating up myself. Keeping like, my English is shit. But to keep beating myself up until some distraction comes up. And then I have to do a certain way. And now I am distracted. So I'm not thinking about something that clearly requires thinking and managing, basically. Like managing the information. The information is something is off, something is not okay. And do something about it. What are you going to do about it? And maybe recording myself, and looking at this stupid face that you don't even like is great action, Maybe it's not, but only when you see that, you'll realize if it's helpful or not. I found myself in a situation watching this stupid face that I didn't even like, and I found it helpful. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe we could change this, or maybe we could change that, But generally speaking, it's like those videos, recording myself, talking to myself, is helpful. Yeah. And what's the alternative? What's the alternative? That's another great question that helped me many times. What's the alternative?